Alright, what's up guys? I am doing a quick deck tech stream. I made a deck last night. It's pretty affordable. There's one PvP rare in it called Indigo Trickster, and I don't know, let me see what Indigo Trickster is going for at this current time. Here, Trickster. It's only going for like price floor 31 flat. And there's 3 pages of them right now on the auction house. There's even one for 2,000 something gold. It's super affordable. Anyway, back to the deck. So it's a McBombus deck. I've been meaning to make a PvP or a Rostering Arena McBombus deck. And I was having the hardest time finding equipment to go with it. But excuse me, now it's set 5. There's pretty good equipment for it. And one of the reasons why I'm playing Indigo Trickster is Indigo Trickster allows you to socket it with a miner and it only costs 2. So you can socket him with the Miner Valor gem. So you create an action and put it in your hand, which is perfect for a McBombus deck where you're trying to chain Flickering Gobbler. There are also a lot of opportunities to upgrade this deck because you can play cards like Sunsoul Phoenix. You can play the new Dual Shard that is Ruby Sapphire. You can play what's that card? Thunderfield Elder. So you can play Ragefire. Anything that's already in a good PvP McBombus deck could likely fit in this deck as well. However, the issue there is you start to run into issues finding equipment that matches up with the deck, because a lot of the main pieces of a PvP-centric McBombus deck unfortunately don't have any PvE equipment attached to them or associated with them. So this is a list. I'll go over it quickly and explain some of the synergies, and then I'll do an arena run. So we're going to have 22 shards. 4 of them are the dual shards, the Shard of Innovation uncommons from set 2. We have 4 burns with the glove equipment so that they do 3 damage. We have 4 Thunderfield Seer with the chest equipment that gives him +1 defense, which actually is pretty nice. I mean, a 1-2 still isn't that strong, but you can block individuals with 1 attack now without losing a troop. We're playing 4 Combat Training. Combat Training is going to be the main way to push damage with some of the weaker troops in the deck, and also with our McBombus charge power, the Bumblebots. We have 4 Crackling Bolts. We have 4 Crackling Wits with the Trinket equipment, which says gain an additional charge for each card with Crackling in its name and your crypt. Originally, all we could play is this with Bolt, but now with set 5, there are additional cards that have Crackling in the name that will synergize with this, and you'll see one in a second. So Flickering Gobbler, this is going to be our main endgame card because he can push damage in the air. You have to be a little bit careful against arena encounters that have Turbulence or other spot removal, but he is the primary way we'll get in damage. Usually we can hold him back until we've played a few Bumblebots, and those Bumblebots will usually generate the removal hate from the arena encounter. So this is the other Crackling card I was talking about, Crackling Tide. It's a quick action, and it allows us to put target troop into its controller's hand and gain a charge. We can use this on our own troops, or we can use it on the AI's troops. It's actually really nice to use on your own troop to save it. It also pairs very nicely with our next card, the Indigo Trickster, who will create a Valor for us every time he enters play. So we can pop him back into our hand, play him again, and get another Valor. So he's only a 1/3, but if you put the Valor on him, if you put Combat Training on him, he can get quite large. He also has a nice ability which allows him to put a random card into the opponent's hand, which can sometimes backfire against the arena AI, But in situations where you're up against something really annoying like Zarlox, you can change some of Zarlox's more powerful cards that are maybe 4 or 5 drops into something completely ineffective against you. So, in particular, against the bosses, that ability is very strong for us to have. So all 4 of these rares that we're playing have the Valor gem, the minor ruby gem of Valor, and I know I completely butchered the name of that gem. Let me see what it's called here. Minor ruby of Valor. So when we play him, we'll get that Valor. The Valor is an action, so it'll combo with Flickering Gobbler. It'll allow us to play another card for 1, which sometimes it's hard to do in this deck because there's a lot of more expensive things in the deck as well. Oh, I don't think I mentioned the equipment for Crackling Tide. So instead of it costing 2, it only costs 1. So that's why we're running the feed equipment for Crackling Tide, which is really awesome. You use it super early. Okay. Mentor of the Song. We're splashing Mentor just because I couldn't find a better Coyote that had a weapon slot. I needed a few more Coyote for the deck because our next card synergizes with Coyote Allegiance. So I dropped in 2 Mentors of the Song with weapon equipment because we're lacking a weapon slot, and I needed at least 2 more Coyote in the deck. We only have 10 Coyote total in the deck. So this is important. This would probably be a card that I would swap out for Thunderfield Elder when or if I had the Thunderfield Elders, and we'd probably just play without a weapon slot. And then last but not least is Lanipaw's Sight, which is very popular in all of the McBombus variations in PvP. Lanipaw's Sight also has head equipment that says Coyote Allegiance, draw a card. So as soon as you play it, you will draw the first prophesized card in your deck, because Lanipaw's Sight will prophesize it. And we're only playing troops, actions, and shards. So there's a guarantee that whatever you draw when you play this, if you have a Coyote in your hand or in play, that the card you draw will be prophesized. So that's the deck. It's very simplistic. If you've played McBombus before, this probably looks very familiar to you. Like I said, we're missing a few of the rare plus cards like Sunsoul Phoenix that might grace your list. We're missing Ragefire, and we're missing the Skarn variations. You can easily play Skarn in this list. I would say I'd probably drop the Mentors of the Song. I'd reduce the copies of Lanipaw's Sight slightly, maybe reduce the copies of Combat Training slightly, and then drop in maybe Embertongue Skarn and the Thunderfield Elders, and try to squeeze in Ragefires as well. Excuse me, I'm still kind of waking up here. Alright, so we're going to save this deck and do a quick arena run. Oh, the weapon equipment for Mentor of the Song reduces the cost of Oracle Song by 1, and it's the Oracle Song that you draw from Mentor of the Song. So basically, 3 cost 2/1 troop or 2 cost Oracle Song when he dies. Not the most exciting thing in the world. That's why he's kind of just a filler card right now. I don't know what Thunderfield Elder is going for, but I'm assuming they're relatively expensive now that set 3 is no longer unlimited, and it's still a very strong card. So that's why I'm not including Thunderfield Elder in the deck. Whereas Indigo Trickster is not widely played, it's a very cheap PvP rare right now. So it should be pretty easy for people to get if they want to try it out. Alright, Sniper of Gwaine is our first matchup here. We have both of our thresholds, so this hand looks pretty good to me, and a potential turn 3 Lanipaw's if we draw another shard. I'm not extremely happy with this particular patch because my arena gameplay has slowed down. There's additional passes you have to do now during the attack phase that are kind of frustrating. And also, Let me see here. If I do that, then I can't play a turn 3 land pause unless I draw another shard. Oh well. We'll do this, and then maybe we can Valor plus Combat Training plus Bumblebot next turn. So anyways, yeah, there's something with the pass priority system that slowed down a little bit. Devil Shard of Innovation. So another nice thing about this deck is there's no requirement of more than one threshold of Sapphire and Ruby. So once we get that initial, I guess we'll do this. Once we get that initial threshold in there, we're good. So I'm pretty sure Sniper Going runs Repel. So there's a very high likelihood that one of these troops will die on attack. Nope, we got lucky. We get our combat training back. We changed one of the cards in his hand with Indigo Trickster's ability. So we'll see if he plays something out of the ordinary here. Bumsers. He inner conflicted our Indigo Trickster. We're going to start out with the Land Sight and see what we draw. We got a shard, sweet. So I'm actually going to play this shard instead. And then we'll, oh darn. Okay, we'll play this Thunderfield Elder. So now our Burn's going to draw us a card. And the next action we draw is going to also draw us a card. Oh hey, Giant Killer, how you doing? I didn't have my other screen up there. Ooh, turtle, huh? Okay, so we can burn one of the turtles, and we could Crackling Bolt the other, which I'm gonna do. Is that will get us a Bumblebot that we can also combat training. Ooh, we got our Gobbler. We'll have to wait a turn though. So, anyone familiar with McVomus, like, this probably looks so familiar to you. And that's good, because that's kind of what I was going for. Like, not a lot of people have been able to experience McVomus in PvE. And Psychic Extension? Yeah, sure. I mean, you could run it. I mean, of course, this is budget, so like cards like Psychic Extension are not going to see the deck list, but they're more than capable of making it into the deck list. So yeah, totally include it. I did a run of this deck last night, and I cleared the arena, but I did lose one game to Zarlox, and I lost. What else did I lose? Oh, I lost one game to Angel of. What the hell was the name of that? Avatar of the Angel or something? I can't even remember the name of the guy. Anyway, I lost one game to it. So we're going to take this no problem. We have two Gobblers we played. Both? Did they both have draw a card? Oh, that is dirty. They both have draw a card. Pretty awesome. We can even, just for fun, play a Crackling Tide here and get a Bumblebot, and our next Crackling Whip will immediately give us like 3 charges. So we would be able to next turn get a Bumblebot as well. Yeah, any deck can lose to Zarlox. He hit a turn 2 Tarantula on me, and he Verdict one of my Lanapods, which probably was fine anyway, since I didn't need extra card draw. Prophecy decks in general have problems against mill decks, so going up against Zarlox with the Prophecy deck can backfire pretty hard. Now Twitch has changed quite a bit. I linked my Amazon Prime to it last night, and my profile page looks a little different too. Now to edit the title, I have to like go below the screen. Kind of interesting. Warbot. I beat Warbot last time I ran up against him in my test run, but it was pretty close. You still have to play pretty passively. Flickering Gobblers help a lot in this matchup. I do have the dual shards, but I'm going to lead with a Thunderfield Seer here to get the early prophecy effect going, and also to start poking in a little bit of damage. I'll combat training him next turn, depending on what he plays. Okay, good, he didn't play anything. Alright, so we'll Shard of Innovation for Ruby, and then combat training up the Thunderfield Seer. Next turn we can get a Bumblebot, which will start generating charges for us every time we play a Bumblebot, which is cool. It's also an artifact and it flies, so it's not going to be hit by the Warbot's Void. So I think what I'll do here is I'll actually use the Crackling Bolt on the Spam Bot, even though that's not necessarily the target I would enjoy most for Crackling Bolt. But it allows us to push a little bit more damage. And I probably could have Crackling Bolted the face there and made him block. But at least it's off the table. And we're going to start to push in with our Bumblebot. And we'll start to create a Bumblebot army here. So it should be pretty easy to take this encounter down. Okay, so I'm actually going to play the Indigo Trickster here first to get the Valor creation. So with the Valor, I'm going to trigger a Bumblebot here. And I wanted to do this because then it allows me to put a second combat training on our second Bumblebot. And yeah, so one more turn, maybe 2 more turns if he uses his charge power next turn, and he'll be done. Yeah, so he might charge power here. Yep. So we'll take out the 2 ground troops, and we still have 2 Bumblebots. Oh, Lenopause Sight. So luckily we still have a Coyote in our hand, so we're going to drop Lenopause. It'll immediately draw us a Prophesize card, which happened to be a Shard. That's okay. Not ideal. Ooh, Cracking Bolt. We can't use it though. So next turn, no matter what happens, we win off the Crackling Bolt. Oh, I drews. Okay. I'm just gonna play a Cracking Bolt real quick. And just drew a Cracking Tide too, which is awesome. We could have bounced the Drews. Okay, 2 encounters down. So I'm probably going to use this deck for a deck tech / article on Hex's page. I have a few other ideas for decks I want to run, but I haven't had a ton of time to build them. So, unfortunately, because I'm running out. Oh, and the other thing is, I don't have a lot of equipment, I noticed, which is really weird. Like, I thought I would have all the equipments by now. But there's a set 4 equipment for Obsidian's Cyclops that I don't have. That I need to get. Now, I have a ton of set 4 chests still, I just have not rolled them, so I don't want to waste them. It's probably just sitting in one of my chests in my inventory. I just need gold to roll. That's the dilemma. That's why you have to grind arena or grind trade chat. That's really the most difficult thing about this game. So I'm actually Crackling Bolting his face to get an early Bumblebot here. I know Wild Redancer runs Turbulence, but he doesn't typically use it on little teeny tiny troops. Ooh, okay, we got a Gobbler. We can back our Gobbler with Crackling Tide. We don't have to worry about the 2 here. But next turn, if he gets a Wild Shard, we'll have to worry about him having 2 resources up. Okay, so I played the burn to activate Flickering Gobbler's ability. If you played an action this turn, put this into your hand. So luckily, he's not going to be sacrificed. It's coming back to our hand. And we'll see what this Wild Dancer plays. He doesn't play much. We might be able to... Oh, that's totally fine. He takes out the Bumblebot. That means we have clear path to attack again. Okay. Trying to think of how I want to sequence this. I think we're just going to attack and then burn, and we'll save. So if we use the Crackling Tide here, we get a charge, so we can play a Bumblebot. But I'll just burn. We can save the Crackling Tide on for the following turn, just in case he tries to Turbulence. Okay, so he has a Wild. And he has 2 up still. We'll see what he does. That's weird. He had the Rose Line in his hand that whole time. Okay, so he doesn't have Turbulence resources anymore. So we should be good to attack. And we can end the game with a Cracking Bolt if it comes to it. There we go. So yeah, I'd imagine this deck isn't super exciting to people watching that have already played McBobbus or know how McBobbus works. So, for that, I would understand lack of enthusiasm. I like this hand, but unfortunately 3 out of the 4 cards require Sapphire. I think I'll take a chance here and I'll keep it. Just because I have a Gobbler in my opener. It's pretty good for ending the game. I also have a burn to remove anything that might get the Ballistics Expert charge. What the hell was that? Did you guys... Did you see that? Is it just me? Or was that really weird? What the hell? It looked like he played a Forge of K-Dog. It went into his deck and then went into the center of the map, burrowed. What else? I mean, I'm gonna turn on my stream just to see if it's okay. It's there on my stream. It's a upside down card in the center of the screen. Okay. Ballistics Expert beats me to the fixing. Alright, do I get a Sapphire is a question. I do not. I'm still kind of waiting on it. I might have to play Burn here, unfortunately. Just to take, I guess I can wait. I really wanted to take out the War Machinist. We'll see what he does. Okay, pretty sure we want to take out the Warbot, or the War Machinist here before we take trigger damage. This Inferno has triggered up to 5 and has not hit either one of us, so that's the threat now too. Yep, and it just hit me. Uh-oh. Looks like my plan is backfiring here. We're not getting our Sapphire Shard. So we might... Okay, luckily Inferno hit him as well. We might be in trouble here. Okay, his Forge just went into the center of the map again. Weird. So he has 2 Forges hiding in the center of the map. Apparently it's a trap card I've never witnessed before. See if we take another 5. Yep, we took another 5. We drew another ruby shard. So we're getting really close to the bad danger zone here. He did not take 5. So now we're looking at 6. We're on a 2-turn clock if we get unlucky. Yeah, burrowing forges. Artifacts have burrowed before, but not forges. Ooh, and we took 6, so we're on a 1-turn clock. We did not draw our sapphire, so I guess that keep was a mistake. And he, of course, dodged it again. So we need to dodge, and he needs to get hit twice. We also need to dodge him playing some kind of troop that's going to deal damage as well. And we're on a 1-turn clock. So if we don't die here... Okay, so it ticked up to 8. We finally got our sapphire here. Unfortunately, even with all the cards in our hand, I can't deal with Terabot now because it got frickin' Spell Shield. I can block it. I can get ready to deal with it. But I can't actually deal with it. So we're gonna have to pray to the Inferno God here. I think that's the only potential way we can take this encounter down. I think one of his dudes has, oh yeah, so he has deal 1 damage as well, so I have to do this just to have a blocker for Terabot. Oh god. He also dodged. Okay, kill 1 of your own troops. Great job. Incoming Terabot. Alright, we block, survive until... Okay, we're gonna take 2 damage here, go to 4. Never mind. Well, we still took 2. And yeah, this is looking... Wow, we dodged a 10 bullet. So we actually may be able to win the encounter here because we have a flickering Gobbler. And we can push in enough damage so that if the Inferno triggers on his turn, we will actually win. So we need the Inferno to hit here to take down the encounter. Come on. Oh my god, you whiffed. I think we lost. I'm pretty sure we lost. I could be wrong. So I think I have to block everything here. I could let... Oh, this is fine actually. Alright. Oh, this has Steadfast now? Bummer. Okay, we might die to the Inferno here. Yep. That sucks. So next time, I guess I need to just mulligan until I have the appropriate thresholds. I think with this particular deck, I'd much rather have Sapphire in my opener than Ruby and Sapphire cards. Yeah, this hand is like the exact same as last game's. Very similar. Perfect. That'll work. Luckily in PvE we get a free mulligan, so we can kind of take a gamble there and reset and see what we get. Actually, I have a pretty good turn 1, 2, 3 here. I could Thunderfield Seer into Landing Pause, or I can Trickster into Landing Pause. I have a lot of options with this particular hand. Fortunately now I can't attack. Well, now I can. I could take out the threat, which is actually quite a threat. And then on top of that, we'll play a Bumblebot. We just drew a second Trickster. Get in for 2. We can play a Landing Clause Sight next turn. Got a 1/1 Rainier Commander. That would be glorious to be able to take out here. So we'll play a normal shard. We'll play a Landing Clause Sight to trigger the Tidal Allegiance, which actually prophesies another shard. It's great. And we'll attack with both. He does not block. Interesting. Okay. So Crackling Tide here is really nice because we can bounce the Rainier Commander to his hand. I should have played the Fetterfield Seer first there before I drew a card. That was a sequencing mistake. Actually, if I play Crackling Tide now, I can get another Bumblebot into play. I'm going to do that. Ooh, nice. And then we have a charged Crackling Wit. So that Crackling Wit is going to allow us to play another Bumblebot next turn as well. Because we have a Crackling Tide and a Crackling Bolt in our crypt. So we'll go up to 4 charges next turn when we play this Crackling Wit. Okay, so... Oh, nice. Combat Training. Is it? No, it's not Prophesized, unfortunately. So we're going to play a Crackling Wit first. And then we're going to play normal shard. Get our Bumblebot. And then I'm going to put a Combat Training on our Trickster. Hopes that maybe he'll be blocked. So the only downside is if he blocks and has a wild rope, we will forever lose that Combat Training. That might have been a mistake. Okay, we got lucky. We're going to save this Combat Training for the following turn. If he attacks with his commander, we will double block to try to get trade. Okay, a little bit of a heal. Our Indigo Trickster turned a card in his hand into the Chanter, which is funny. We got to kill the Bucktooth, which is perfect. Now, unfortunately, we cannot attack with the Trickster here. He will die. I'm going to just play normal shards for now. We'll go ahead and Combat Training up a Bumblebot. We'll also Trickster to put a Valor on another Bumblebot, so our Bumblebots are all dealing pretty good damage in the air. And pass turns. Don't really care about that guy. Oh, that's not good. He took out our T3, which is actually just fine. A Landing Clause Sight for additional card draw. Ooh, we get a burn off the top. That's pretty good to have. So I think with that burn, we have exactly enough for lethal here. All in the air. And on that note, after this encounter, I'm going to take a short break to say hi to my kids that woke up. I'll be back in a few minutes. Awesome. Be right back. So, alright, Avenging Angel. That's the one I lost to last time. Avenging Angel. So, when I tested the deck originally, this is one of the matchups I lost to. I got a really bad draw. It was kind of similar to the Ballistics X FRA encounter just a few minutes ago, where I got one color but I didn't get the other. It's a replacement hand. Oh god. Oh god. I kind of want to replace this hand too, but I'll keep it. Could be similar to Ballistics Expert. It's one of the downsides of this deck. I think the first upgrade I'd make to the deck, if I was going to build more non-budget version, would be putting in the Ruby Sapphire dual shard from set 5. And so you have that early fixing. I might even up the shard count to maybe 23. We do have a lot of card draw, but if you get behind a shard or two, you really want to get to that third shard so you can play a Land Plus side. We're not really in a hurry to respond to his threat right now. If we draw a Sapphire Shard, okay, now we are in a little bit more of a hurry. The nice thing about Living Totem for the AI is the AI likes to just waste all its resources pumping it, like right there. So allowing him to just do that every turn rather than playing troops is probably better for me to allow me to catch up. So I'm going to just sit back and hope we get a Sapphire Shard soon. Once we get a Sapphire Shard, we're going to start to go off very quickly. He did not pump. Oh, interesting. I'm just going to take out his Soap Art and hope that he uses Living Totem more in the future to pump. There we go. Okay. Took a while, but we finally got there. So you're going to have to wait a turn for a Bumblebot, but that's okay. We'll commit to Thunderfield Seers for the Living Totem, see if we can get a kill. Ooh. Defendered up. He did not attack. That's cool. Alright, so we got Flickering Gobbler with a combat train into a... Wow. Whoa. That combat training is spiked. Totally spiked. We'll follow that with a combat training on our Bumblebot. So we luckily hit combat training with all 3 of these Thunderfield Seers. So every time we redraw and play that, we're going to draw another 3 cards. I'm actually going to save the burn to deal with the Living Totem. That combat training is going to allow us to win. Okay, what is he just doing? Forever Life Steal pump? Okay, so we're just going to lose 2 troops here. We're going to take the Living Totem out. We're going to block and block. And now we can attack with our board. Whoa, that was weird. Weird animation glitch there. Alright, Gobbler. That's not the one. That's the one. Triple draw a card. Throw that here. A second Flickering Gobbler. Sweetness. on the fast track now. So one more turn and we should have the win, despite what he plays. He'll more than likely play a flyer, because his deck has a lot of flyers. But I don't think it matters. My wife's having a hard time. I might need to go help her. Is everything okay? Sorry. Hey, you okay? Alright. Alright, let's see what we draw here. Pretty sure we'll still be able to take this encounter down. It's just that now we have to deal with this 5/5 that's going to heal up for quite a bit. Alright, I'm going to actually lead off with Combat Training and see what we draw off the top. Oh, Crackling Tides. Okay, so Crackling Tides will end it for us. He'll just bounce the Spirit Cliff Cavalier back to his hand. I really like Crackling Tide. I like that there's no downside to using it on your own troops, so it's a little bit better than the Time Ripple. And with the boot equipment, it only costs us 1 to play, so it's cheaper than a Time Ripple. There we go. So I was experimenting with an Ardent themed Valor deck that was Diamond Sapphire with Crackling Tides and stuff, and the new Glorious Pegasus, which is a PvE chest roll equipment, chest roll card that has also chest roll equipment. It's one of the easier ones to get, but the deck didn't quite feel right. It wasn't working where I wanted it to be. It was like a flying deck with the 1-cost 2/2 flyers from Diamond Sapphire as well from set 5. I might look at that deck again in the future, but it just didn't quite make the cut. Not as good as its Ruby counterpart, but it was quick. Just yeah, I'll do that right now. I gotta go put the dogs out. I'll be right back. Well, apparently I picked a bad time to stream. Right when my kids wake up. Not always the best idea. There's quite a few things I can do here. I am tempted to... Let's look at... Ooh, okay. So, I think what I'll do here is attack, and then I'm going to Crackling Tide my own Thunderfield Seer, and then replay him. And that does a few things effectively. It puts a double trigger on an action in my deck that has now double card draw. It also allows me to play my Crackling Wit next turn and get an additional charge and another opportunity to potentially draw into that action that's been double prophesized. Oh! So I draw the double prophesized Crackling Wit. So it's going to draw me 3 cards. One is a Ruby Shard, which is exactly what I wanted. Which will give me a Bumblebot. I think we're going to just take out this Shame Gladiator and get in for 2. Great, that worked out well. So next turn we get Indigo Trickster into Valor into Bumblebot, which I think is what I'm going to do. Okay. So yeah, we're going to Indigo Trickster. Let me just check this. No equipment, good. Get a Valor. I'm going to put the Valor on the Bumblebot. I'm going to play a Bumblebot. Alright, we have a bunch of Crackling cards in our crypt, so we can just keep getting Bumblebots now, like every single turn. Uh-oh. You Crackling rotted our pumped up Bumblebot. That sucks. Okay, so how do we want to play this particular turn? We can Crackling Bolt plus Burn Face. That sounds exciting, but is it? Okay. Crackling Bolt plus Burn on the face is 6 damage, plus 9 in play. Plus we could... let's do this instead. To play a Crackling Wit, it should give us plenty of charges for a Bumblebot. Okay. And we will play an Indigo Trickster and attack for all. So this should set us up for... Yeah, it sets us up for lethal next turn, unless he does like an Extinction. Oh, this could hurt. We'll just take that. Okay. Whoa. That's not a good card to turn something into. So, our Indigo Trickster turned one of his cards into a modified Hop Hero. Not good. Not good at all. Alright, so we're just going to end it here. He can't do anything to us. We'll double Crackling Bolt and then just attack with both Bumblebots. Actually, we can attack with 3 Bumblebots since we get another one from the double Crackling Bolts. This Crackling Wit, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Crackling cards in there, so this Crackling Wit would give us 6 charges. Alright, not too bad. Ballistics Expert loss was only due to Shard Screw, really. For those of you guys watching, I know there's probably not a ton of you guys on right now, but, oh yeah, hardly anyone. Most of you guys are from the guild, but if you guys have any ideas for future cards you want to see in a PvE deck, let me know. Sounds not quite what I want. Some guy asked me to build a deck around Ashwood Colossus, or Colossi, so I might do that next. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, that's an expensive card. I'll probably play it. You know, I already had a deck with that card before they fixed the weapon equipment that gave him +5 defense. Honestly, I don't even know if I'd run that equipment with him. His gloves equipment's where it's really at. I think that's the one that allows you to create copies of plants when you attack. I guess we can just yellow for a Bumblebot here. That Thunderfield Seer allows me to get the card draw off of Lanipause, so I'm just going to play a Lanipause here. Hmm, 20 avatars. Okay. Yeah, that could be a challenge because, oh god, this guy has a Buccaneer in his hand, and he just got a bunch of health. I was going to say that could be a challenge because I think a lot of the avatars do not share thresholds. Diamond might have the most. It's been a while since I've looked at the avatars. Ah, oh, darn it. I was just thinking it would have been really nice if I played the Seer before I played the card that was going to draw me more cards. Oh well, wait, maybe I should play the problem size one, huh? Whoa! Okay, that's a cool little prophesized crackling wit there. I'll definitely be playing that next turn. Yeah? She took the zip tie off? Oh my god. Great. You are crazy. Huh. Oh, that's surprising. Maybe I didn't zip tie it strong enough, and it didn't hit the... These kids, man. Can't keep them out of anything at this edge. Be good, Bree. Be good. Yeah. Behave yourself. Jesus Christ. Our little clones are really smart. Alright. So what are we doing here? I guess we'll lead off with a Cracking Wit. Get a Bumblebot. Look and Gobbler it. I'm gonna save the burn because we're already kind of low on actions in our hand here. That's our last action. Probably take 2 damage here. That's fine. What is this calling at? Plus O plus 2. Alright. Okay, it's a good thing we saved the burn. Do we have anything that's prophesized? We do not. We can play our entire hand though, just so we can get this Bumblebot back into play. We'll go ahead and burn face because it sets us up for lethal the following turn. Oh crap, okay, he countered it, but luckily it still counts as playing an action. So that's another good thing to note about this deck is even if your action is countered, it still counts as you playing the action. So Flickering Gobbler, whoa! Flickering Gobbler got copied. That's awesome. Alright, I'll just kill Highlands Mangus. So when Flickering Gobbler gets copied, he will stay in play for the next turn. It will not live until the end of the turn unless you play another action. Or will not go back into your hand. So that's what happened there. Okay, let me try to re-zip tie this thing before my daughter gets into trouble. Yeah. It's nice to be taking this Monday off, but that also means I get put to work raising family. Not the most glorious thing. This hand.